Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Secretary
Mr.
Landry.
Chairman. How are you?
Good. Just introduce yourself.
Nancy Landry, Secretary of State. Thank you. I appreciate it, Senators. We don't have any opinion or interest in most of Senator Hodges' bill, just the part that deals with elections. And just to give you a little background information, in 2021, then Senator Hewitt passed a bill which became Act 480, which added several steps to our procurement process to get a new voting system. It went from a 2-year process to a 4-year process. And although I've spoken to other secretaries of state around the country, and no one can understand why this process is so long, and they actually couldn't believe that the process is that long for us to get a new voting system, we have complied with it to the letter. We hired a procurement attorney. We're crossing every T, dotting every I, and we are in year 3 of 4 now, and we can see the finish line. But every session, there's always an effort to add some more layers and more requirements, or to move the goalposts. And you know, we're ranked number 2 in the nation in election integrity by the Heritage Foundation, number 2 in the nation in spite of our aged equipment, in spite of the fact that we don't have an fully auditable system right now. And if we do get that system, we will rocket to number 1, way ahead of all the other states. And that's because of the laws that y'all have passed. We have awesome election laws. We protect election integrity in Louisiana. And so I appreciate everyone's concern about this procurement process, but it's my opinion that we don't need any more oversight. We've already had a year of public hearings. We have multiple layers of oversight. We've done, you know, everything that y'all have asked us to do at this point. And so, you know, we've worked with Senator Hodges on some amendments, but I hear your concerns now about dual objects, so it might be safer just to remove us from the bill to not jeopardize the rest of her bill, because we don't think it's really necessary to have anything about elections in this bill. Her concern was with the executive order of the president, which was issued a few months ago or a few weeks ago. We've met with the White House twice now. Yesterday, in fact, I met with White House staff. I met with members of DOJ. I met with Department of Homeland Security and the Social Security Administration. And I've also met with the Election Assistance Commission, which is also their orders in the executive order directed to that agency as well. So, and I have a letter actually from the Intergovernmental Office of the Trump administration saying this order is intended to complement and support your work to improve Louisiana's election system and processes by providing additional federal resources and coordination. They commended us for what we do here in Louisiana, and they encouraged us to proceed with our procurement and get a new system that allows us to have an auditable paper record. And so just adding any more requirements or oversight we think is unnecessary. We already have, this is already the most transparent procurement in the history of Louisiana. It's the most arduous procurement process, I would venture to say, in the country, based on the reaction I got from other secretaries of state around the country when I told them what we have to go through. We've already held a year of hearings. Like I said, everything we do now, we have to follow the APA process, which takes months, as you know. And so there's oversight of both the SGA committee, the HGA committee, the joint Budget Committee has to approve any award we have. We have the Voting System Commission that was created. We have the Voting System Proposal Evaluation Committee that was created. And we also have the Voting System Standards Committee that will certify equipment to Louisiana standards as well. Any more oversight and any more requirements in the law is just going to slow the process down. Both Governor Landry and the Trump administration have asked us how they can help to speed things up. We need to get a new system, and we need to get it sooner rather than later, and we just need to move forward. We don't need any more oversight. We don't we're complying with the executive order. We're already 95% in compliance. All we need to do is get a new system to be in compliance. And so we ask that, you know,
Thank you.
adopt one set of amendments, either the ones that would, make it less burdensome or just take us out completely. Thanks.
Right. And thank you for being here, and thank you for the work you do to continue to make sure that our elections are secure and run fairly. And part of that is to make sure that they're secure. Is that correct? And all of these different things that you mentioned, is security of the equipment and our systems a very big factor?
Absolutely, and election integrity is my number one priority, and in order to ensure our election integrity, we need to get a new system. We are the only state in the nation that uses statewide a system that does not create a paper record trail that we can use to fully audit the elections, and so we really need to move forward and get a new system, and we've been trying to do that for several years now. As you know, the process was derailed a couple of times in the past, and so we need to make sure that it goes all the way through the finish line this time.
I think in 2017, your not your immediate predecessor, but Secretary of State Shedler was talking about how our machines were aging, and that was back in, I believe, 2017. 2018, that we were trying to see if we can get some for our 2019 election, and
right.
Here we are. We've had that's been at least 2 elections since then. So
right
now,
I'm not. Never mind. Go ahead.
Senator Hodges had mentioned director. I believe her position as director of national intelligence had said that there's threats and vulnerabilities. Has anybody from her office or has anybody come to y'all and said, hey, look, this is an issue that we need to be aware of?
We just spoke with Senator Hodges this morning about we swapped proposed amendments and kind of looked over them, but to be honest, we didn't have time to really look at them and digest them.
Right.
But this is Laney Boyd, my Deputy Commissioner of Elections, and she looked at them more closely than I did.
But in terms of, has anybody from the national security community of the United States come to y'all and said, hey, we've done a threat assessment of y'all, and y'all are vulnerable?
No, they have not. The system that we use has never been implicated in any way, but our systems are never connected to the internet. They were actually manufactured before the internet was invented. And I remember what I was going to tell you now. We had an election this Saturday, and two more of our machines broke down in this election. And so we lose some more every time we hold an election. They no longer make the parts. We cannot replace these anymore. And so, luckily this time the results stayed on the machine, and the integrity of the election was intact. But if they start to fail to the point where they don't preserve the results because there's no paper record, we're going to be in trouble. And we need to get a system that has a verifiable paper audit trail.
Okay.
And so we are working towards that, and we met, like I said, we met with the White House about the executive order. They encouraged us to move forward with our procurement of a new system. They said not to wait until VVSG 2.0 comes out and there are more companies that are certified to that standard. They said move forward towards 2.0. That was their word. And so we are going to do that. We plan to find out the possibilities of upgrading as technology improves and how we can upgrade the system and keep it current to the most secure standards.
All right. Thank you. Senator Carter for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Secretary. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Senator.
Usually we handle your issues or matters or things related to your department under SGA, the Senate Committee on Government Affairs.
On the Senate side and HGA on the House side.
Right. So it's a little unusual to be dealing with this subject matter in
I love coming to Jude, though, anytime.
I know you
always
do.
happy to be here.
And
many of you have been on SGA, so.
And of course, the solution you're proposing is take us out of it. Which speaks volumes. Good to see you, Madam Secretary.
Good to
Thanks.
see you too, Senator Carter.
All right. Thank you, Senator Carter. And Ms. Boyd is with you. And is there anything else to add that you need? Okay. All right.